Hello. Now I'm going to introduce us to three most important drawings for the T-level project. The 2D drawings, the bill of materials, and then the exploded view. So these are very important for presentation because the 2D drawings is what you use to make the part. The bill of materials tells us how many parts are in the drawing, and then the exploded view tells us a story about the assembly works in the drawing. So we need to open the file for the assembly which you already filed, which you've already drawn. You need to know where you've saved it. In my case, I've even made a folder, you remember from previous drawing, and then you name your files properly. So I've named this one as pulley assembly. So in my case, I'm going to make a 2D drawing of an assembly. It doesn't make a lot of meaning when you are doing a drawing, but I want you to see how the assembly is done. The 2D. It's not about the presentation, but it's about the method you use to produce a 2D drawing. So you go up here for the design and then choose where it says drawing and then choose from design. So that means I'm going to choose from this design here. Now it gives you different options of so the size of the page. So you should be able to make a judgment from the drawing which you have made what the size you need. In my case, I just leave it at A3 and at landscape, and I say okay. So this puts me straight into a 2D environment, and it comes with one of the views which is called the base. So this base view, if you place it anywhere, it will be a reference point for all other views which you're going to make from this base. If it's not big enough, we could make it a bit bigger. Say we choose 1 to 2, and that gives us a bigger drawing. And then I say okay. So normally a 2D drawing, which is known as orthographic, will have different views. But please make sure that when you're doing this, you use each of the elements alone. Don't make for the 3D. I've just done this as I told you, but sometimes it doesn't make a lot of meaning. Then if I go up here on top left, I can get a projected view of any of these. So if I click in here, I can go up and put a top view. I go on the side and put a side view. But this side view will be almost the same as that one, so I'll just ignore that. And then I just go somewhere on top here to get a 3D view. I'll go a bit down because I want it to be looking like this. And then I right click and click OK. Now I have 3 views. Now I can move this one up there. So the 3D view can move anywhere you want it to go. But the base view, which is this one, when you move it, it moves all the others. And the other projected view will just move up and down. So I'll double click this one and change it to shaded so that it looks like in the real way. And then you have an option of adding dimensions, which you can do by normally as you draw. But one of the things which you could try before you try to put dimensions is what is called auto dimension. The auto dimension picks all the dimensions as you're making them when you're doing your sketches. So that's why it's very important that when you're making your sketches, make sure that your sketches make a valid sketch. So if I choose auto dimension and I choose the base view or any of these, or yeah, so now I have the dimensions there already. Now if you look on your right, you can see different ways. There's overall dimension, there's ordinate dimension, which gives you about 20 to 23 dimensions, and then that's symmetrical. Then there's a, we'll choose this ordinate dimension, and then there is this, you can increase or decrease the number of dimensions you want to put. So as I told you, this is not very important for this drawing. After you have done that, you can do tidying up. You can move this that way to make it visible. Pull some out. Do everything to make sure that your drawing looks nice. That's one option. The other option is that you can just add the dimensions yourself. So if I go here and say dimension, I can decide to put a dimension on there, and then you can do it that way if you don't want to, because sometimes these auto dimensions are not very good, and some can be a bit useless, which you can delete. Now the next thing you can do on a 2D is to go to this template and edit. So if you right click and click on edit properties, then you can go here. I'll quickly put some few things: department, engineering, let's say T level 3, technical reference. This can be a mock test, document type. This is an assembly 2D, approved by, this could be your teacher, put his initials. Document status, this could be a draft which you are waiting for approval. Drawing number, it's very important that you have some number which you attach to your drawing. Revision could be the second, and the date of issue could be the 17th of August 25. Okay, we don't need to change anything on the title, because it's already what we want. No, we could probably put 2D drawings. 2D drawing. So when I say finish properties, I will have now a table which has been improved. And this is also very important because it gives the examiner the idea that you know what you're doing. So I'll just drag this one a bit to the side and put here bills of materials. So you go up here where it says tables, and then you do parts list, and you see the table coming out. So if you just click here, automatically now you have a table, which is actually the bills of materials, which will show you item, the quantity, and anything which you want to see on the drawing. The bills of materials can be expanded, but this one is quite okay for the purpose of all our T-level assignments. Now, we can save this. So, if you close it, it will ask you to save, and then you save. So, that's done. And the next thing we do is the exploded view, which is number 3 here. We've already done these two. So if we go to animation, you just click on the design and then you go animation, and then to give you this page. I'm going to close this one now so that you can see everything happening here. Animation is very easy, which shows the way how the parts combine. You just go to where it says transform and then do auto explode at all levels. Sorry, you need first to pick here the components, and this one turns blue. Then you do auto explode at all levels, and you see the drawing now has auto exploded. Now before you leave this page, please just go up here where it says tray lane visibility. So you click on that one and it will show you how these parts come in and out. You can increase the scale by just turning that one on. You can have one step explosion or sequential explosion, and then you say okay. So this is now the explosion complete, which you can play actually. If you go at the bottom here, you do a rewind, and then you play, and it will show you the parts coming out. Okay, coming out and in. So if I do rewind again, I go back to the original thing. You can publish this one by saving it, and then make sure you know where it is. Case to go to the downloads, and then I say save. This is important because you will have a video, and in the purpose of say an exam, you can be able to present these videos as one of your evidence. So if I now go to my download files, I will get the video, which you can see now here. I've saved it as a video, and this is an MP3 which I can play and present in as an assessment document. Okay, actually let me see, we can also let's see what we can do. Yeah, we can make it keep repeating. So if I say repeat, then it will go on up to the end, and then it will go back and then start all that on again. So that can also be good for your demonstration. So this is now the last part, and then I'm going to publish the videos, and we're going to have another 3 videos of this kind, and then after that we'll do some drawings regarding the actual kind of T-level assessments. Thank you.